They were all staring at me, my father at the head of the table, my mother to his right, my brother Clayton with that smirk he always wore, my sister Victoria checking her phone. Thanksgiving dinner at the family estate, just like every year, except this year, they'd invited me for a reason. Peyton, we need to discuss something important, my father said. My name is Peyton Ashford. I'm 34 years old, and my family thinks I'm a failure. I dropped out of college, never finished my business degree, moved across the country without telling anyone where I was going. For 12 years, I barely kept in touch. They assumed I was struggling, barely getting by. They had no idea. We've been talking, my mother said, about Grandma Catherine's trust fund. I took a sip of water, said nothing. She left equal shares to all three of you, my father continued. But frankly, Peyton, you haven't earned yours. Clayton leaned back in his chair. Dad's right. Tori and I actually built something. You just disappeared. Victoria nodded without looking up from her phone. My father slid a document across the table. We're asking you to sign over your share. Your brother and sister will put it to better use. I looked at the paper. 1/3 of Grandma's estate. $2 million. They wanted me to just give it away. We're family, my mother added. This is what's best for everyone. I picked up the document, read it slowly. Then I set it down. Before I sign anything, I said quietly, there's something you should know. I reached into my bag, pulled out a folder, slid it across the table. My father opened it. His face went white. My father stared at the first page, then flipped to the second, the third. His hands started shaking. What is this? He whispered. Financial statements, I said. For my company. My mother grabbed the folder. Her eyes went wide. This can't be right. Clayton snatched it from her. Ashford Digital Solutions, he read aloud. Net worth $1.6 billion. The room went silent. Victoria finally looked up from her phone. That's impossible. It's not, I said calmly. I started it 12 years ago, built it from nothing. We went public last year. My father found his voice. You own $1 billion company? 1.6 billion. Yes. My mother's face was red. And you never told us? You never asked what I was doing. You just assumed I'd failed. Clayton was flipping through pages. Revenue charts, stock performance, board member listings. This is actually real, he said quietly. Why would you keep this from us? My father demanded. I looked at him. Because I wanted to see how you'd treat me. Without money, without status. Just as Peyton. My mother stood up. That's cruel. We're your family. Family? I repeated. You just asked me to sign away my inheritance because you think I'm worthless. Victoria finally spoke. We didn't mean, yes you did. You've always thought I was the failure, the disappointment, the one who couldn't make it. I took the folder back, but here's what you don't know. Grandma Catherine knew everything. My father's face changed. What do you mean? She knew about my company, about my success. We had lunch every month until she died. My mother sat down slowly. That's not possible. She would have told us. She wanted to see what you'd do, how you'd treat me when you thought I had nothing. I pulled out another document. And she changed her will because of it. I placed the new document on the table. My father grabbed it, read the first paragraph, then looked at me. This says she left you 70% of her estate. That's correct. My mother's voice cracked. 70%? That's $14 million. Clayton and Victoria get 15% each, $3 million each. The rest goes to charity. Victoria stood up. This is insane. You can't just... I didn't do anything. Grandma made this decision 2 years before she died. She had her lawyers draw it up, sign it, notarize it. Clayton was doing math in his head. You knew about this the whole time? I found out after she passed. Her lawyer contacted me. My father's face was hard. So you came here tonight to humiliate us? No, I came because you invited me, because you said family was important. I stood up. But you only wanted me here to take what little you thought I had. My mother started crying. Peyton, please. We made a mistake. You made a choice, I said. You showed me exactly who you are. Clayton's voice was tight. So what now? You just walk away with everything? I already have everything. I don't need Grandma's money. I picked up my bag. In fact, I'm donating my entire share, all 14 million, to organizations that help people who've been rejected by their families. My father stood. You can't be serious. I'm completely serious. The paperwork is already filed. Victoria was pale. What about us? You're really going to let us lose $10 million? You're not losing anything. You're getting exactly what Grandma thought you deserved. 3 million each. My mother reached for my hand. Peyton, we can fix this. We can start over. I pulled away. No, we can't. I walked toward the door. My father's voice stopped me. If you leave now, you're no longer part of this family. I turned around, looked at all of them. I haven't been part of this family for 12 years. I just, finally, stopped pretending. I walked out of that house, got in my car, drove away without looking back. My phone started ringing before I hit the main road. Clayton. I didn't answer. Then Victoria. Then my mother. Then my father. I silenced all of them. The calls kept coming for 3 days. Voicemails piled up. Peyton, we need to talk about this rationally. You're being childish. This is family. How dare you embarrass us like this, I deleted every single one. On the 4th day, my assistant knocked on my office door. There's a Clayton Ashford here to see you. Says he's your brother. He doesn't have an appointment. Tell him I'm busy. He says he'll wait. Then tell security to escort him out. She hesitated. He's been waiting for 3 hours. I looked up from my computer. 3 hours? He says he won't leave until you talk to him. I sighed. Fine. 5 minutes. Clayton walked in looking nothing like the arrogant man from Thanksgiving. His suit was wrinkled. His eyes were red. He sat down without being invited. I need your help, he said. No. You don't even know what I'm asking. I don't care. He leaned forward. My company is failing. I'm about to lose everything. The investors are pulling out. I need a loan. I stared at him. How much? 5 million. I almost laughed. You asked me to sign away 2 million because I didn't deserve it. Now you want 5? That was different. I didn't know. You didn't know I had money, so I didn't matter. His jaw clenched. I made a mistake. You made a choice. Peyton, please, I'm your brother. You stopped being my brother the moment you smirked at that dinner table. He stood up. So that's it? You're just going to watch me fail? His face turned red. You're heartless. I'm honest. There's a difference. He walked to the door, stopped. Dad was right about you. You never belonged in this family. I know, I said quietly. That's why I built my own. He left. I went back to work. 2 weeks later, Victoria showed up. She didn't wait in the lobby. She walked straight past security, into the elevator, up to my floor. My assistant tried to stop her. Ma'am, you can't just... I'm her sister. She burst into my office. I looked up from my meeting. 3 investors sat across from me, mid-presentation. Excuse me, I said to them. Give me a moment. They left quietly. Victoria stood there, arms crossed. You blocked my calls. Yes. I drove 4 hours to see you. You should have called first. Oh wait, you can't. She sat down in the chair the investor had just vacated. I'm pregnant. I said nothing. Did you hear me? I'm having a baby. Congratulations. That's all you have to say? What do you want me to say, Victoria? Her eyes filled with tears. I want you to care. I want my sister back. You never had a sister. You had someone you tolerated when it was convenient. That's not fair, isn't it? Name. One time, you stood up for me. One time, you took my side against Clayton or Dad. She opened her mouth, closed it. Exactly, I said. We were young. We didn't know better. You're 32 years old. When does that excuse expire? She wiped her eyes. I need help, Peyton. My husband left. I can't afford the baby on my own. Mom and Dad cut me off. I leaned back. Why did they cut you off? Because I told them they were wrong. About you. About Thanksgiving. About everything. That surprised me. You defended me? Yes, and Dad said if I chose your side, I was choosing to be alone. She looked down at her hands. So I'm alone now, pregnant and alone. I studied her face, looking for the lie, the manipulation, but all I saw was exhaustion. What do you need? Money. A place to stay. I don't know anything. I picked up my phone, made a call. Send someone from HR to my office. Now. I hung up. What are you doing? Victoria asked. Giving you a job. Her eyes widened. What? You have a marketing degree. My company needs a brand manager. $70,000 a year. Benefits. Maternity leave. Peyton, You'll earn it. No special treatment. You fail, you're fired. Victoria stared at me. Why would you help me? Because you're the only one who admitted you were wrong. But I treated you terribly. Yes, you did. I stood up. But you also just lost everything to defend me. That means something. She started crying. Real tears this time. I don't deserve this. Probably not, but Grandma always said people deserve second chances, not third ones. Don't waste this. HR arrived 10 minutes later. Victoria signed the paperwork with shaking hands. You start Monday, I said. My assistant will help you find an apartment nearby. Company will cover first month's rent. Thank you, she whispered. Don't thank me. Just show up and work. She left. I went back to my meeting. That night, my father called. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. What do you want? I heard you gave Victoria a job. News travels fast. Why would you help her after what she did? She apologized. She took responsibility. That's more than you've ever done. Silence on the other end. Then, I'm calling to apologize. I waited. I'm listening. We were wrong. About you. About everything. Your mother and I talked. We want to make this right. How? Come to dinner. Next Sunday. Just the four of us. We'll start over. Clayton won't be there? No, he's dealing with his own problems. I thought about it. Every instinct said no, but a small part of me wondered. One dinner, I said. That's all. That's all I'm asking. Sunday came. I drove to their house. Same mansion, same driveway, same front door, but something felt different. My mother opened the door. Her eyes were red, like she'd been crying for days. Peyton, thank you for coming. She hugged me. I didn't hug back. Inside, the dining room was set for 4. My father stood when I entered. Peyton. Dad. We sat down. Uncomfortable silence. Then my mother spoke. We owe you an explanation. I'm listening. My father cleared his throat. When you left 12 years ago, we were angry, hurt. We didn't understand why you'd walk away from everything we built. You built, not me. You're right. We never asked what you wanted. We just assumed. My mother reached across the table. We're sorry, Peyton. Truly sorry. I looked at both of them. What changed? Why now? My father's face fell. Because we lost everything. I set down my fork. What do you mean everything? My father looked at my mother. She nodded. The company is bankrupt, he said quietly. We filed last week. How? Bad investments. Clayton's advice. He convinced me to put everything into a tech startup. It collapsed. My mother's hands trembled. We're losing the house, the cars, all of it. I sat back. And you want my help? No, my father said quickly. That's not why we called you here. Then why? Because we need you to know the truth before you hear it from someone else. My mother wiped her eyes. And because we're ashamed, we treated you like you were nothing. And now we're the ones with nothing. My father looked older suddenly, tired. You don't owe us anything, Peyton. We know that. We just wanted to apologize, face to face, before we disappear. Disappear where? Montana. Your aunt has a small house. We'll stay there. Start over. I studied them both. Looking for the angle, the manipulation, but I didn't see it. Just two broken people. How much do you owe? I asked. My father shook his head. It doesn't matter. How much? 20 million. I pulled out my phone, made a call. Transfer 20 million to this account. Now. I gave them the details. Hung up. My parents stared at me. What did you just do? My mother whispered. Paid your debt. Peyton, we can't accept. You're not accepting anything. It's a loan, 0 interest. You'll pay me back when you can. My father's voice cracked. Why would you do this? Because Grandma would have wanted me to. She believed in second chances. I stood up. But this is it. No more bailouts. No more rescues. You start over. You build something real, or you lose it all again. My mother stood, hugged me tight. This time, I hugged back. Thank you, she whispered. Don't thank me. Just do better. I left that house, got in my car, and for the first time in 12 years, I felt lighter. Not because I gave them money, but because I finally had a choice, to help or walk away. And I chose help, on my terms, not theirs. 6 months passed. My parents sold the mansion, moved to Montana, started a small consulting business. They called once a week, not to ask for money, just to talk. Victoria had her baby, a girl named Catherine, after Grandma. She became my best employee, earned 2 promotions in 6 months. We had lunch every Tuesday. Clayton disappeared. I heard he moved to Europe. Started over under a different name. I didn't try to find him. Some bridges need to stay burned. 1 year after that Thanksgiving dinner, my company hit $2 billion in valuation. Forbes called for an interview. What's your secret? The reporter asked. I thought about it. I stopped waiting for people to see my worth. I built it myself. Any regrets? Plenty, but not about leaving. The article came out the next month. My father called. I read the Forbes piece. I'm proud of you. Those words used to mean everything to me. Now they were just words. Thanks, Dad. Your mother and I paid back the first $1 million. Wire went through this morning. I checked my account. He was right. You didn't have to do it all at once. We wanted to. We're not who we were, Peyton. We're better now. Good. We talked for a few more minutes, then hung up. I looked out my office window, at the city below, at the empire I'd built from nothing. Some people think success is about proving others wrong. But they're missing the point. Success is about proving yourself right. I knew I was worth something, even when my own family didn't. And that knowledge built everything: the money, the company, the life I have now. They didn't give it to me. I took it. And when they finally wanted me back, I came back on my terms. Not as the failure they expected, but as the woman I always knew I could be. That Thanksgiving dinner changed everything, not because of what they said, but because of what I finally understood. I never needed their approval. I just needed to approve of myself, and the moment I did, everything else followed.